Everything should be good to go. The mic's hot, the video's on. I'm gonna go set up in my office.
Okay.
Just do the test. I know Sean went out for a smoke.
Yeah,
I'll remind Fisher he's in the hallway.
okay.
Mayor's here, so.
All right, thank you. I know. Bad habit.
I just report the facts, ma'am. I'm just the clerk. I just report the facts.
Did you remember what you needed to tell me?
Must not have been totally
With the key.
with the keys, turning off the hose, all that stuff.
You got a new monitor.
You do?
Well.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he's got to sign and then send it back.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got to sign, I got to sign.
Right.
Okay, that's why I don't have it. He's
I
got
just
it.
heard that they quit.
Okay, I can look back.
That's all I heard. Like,
Yeah, well, them sign and give it to us and I'll sign.
So now we got a new.
Exactly, so I can't put, right, exactly.
But just so you have a copy, I just sent it to him, so he.
really?
Awesome.
And I made it simple.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So.
I know, it's real simple. I know. Thank you.
Awesome, so just so you know.
I love it, Michael. Thank you.
I did send the info. He did review it.
Interesting.
Testing, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mario.
Excellent, thank you.
You keep, I know, wait,
You
but
don't have it, the
Nope.
clerk don't have it, and I called Dale, he don't have it.
I was gonna bring you my big ones.
David, what are you gonna do, right?
Get through this. Right?
Pardon?
Get through this.
Yeah.
Call it a night. I always worry I forget something in the order.
Oh, no, you'll do fine. You got me and Sean here. So Sean, thinking I called the, mine's off, but you talked to the girl there, I said, look at. You know what point is?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. By the overlook. I like that idea. I ran it by,
Flowers.
yeah, I just think,
You like it?
I mean, you could even do the bench of the tree there too.
You need a pension?
What's up?
I'm good. I think it's spectacular.
You good?
Wanda.
Can I sit next to Sean?
We do
You
get-
want to? Just take your tag over.
So.
We could have consolidated the desks.
Saving money, we'll get one desk.
Yeah.
Well, no.
What's happening, man?
And again, because there's nothing here, so.
John moved your.
He did,
I said that and I got in trouble in the very beginning. He doesn't like hearing it.
I know how it is.
Yeah, I know.
We're on the same page, perfect.
It sounds like there's a lot of people out.
It's for the veteran of the month.
Yeah, I know. Are they coming in?
Want me to tell him?
Yeah.
Okay, we're about to begin? Okay.
Yeah.
Veteran of the month, that's first. So, Janet didn't make it, right? She wasn't here?
Right.
I asked her first. She's not coming in. I gotta get up to stand. Get up to it. Did you?
In the clerk's office. I wonder if they're still in.
That's between you and I.
Yeah. I know there was.
You know what the mayor did? Holy shit.
It's funny. I would ask Mario, because
I will.
in the past, I know I had one. Sean, did you have a stamp with your signature?
Did you? Yeah, so did Johnny, you all did it.
Oh,
Yeah, I think there still is one for me, but I also, I lost it before, so I think they were, where I found mine at home.
I just got one for me now. You come? Boston. Oh, no.
It's a great term.
Oh, this is something they gotta put the mayor's.
After we read the veteran of the month, I'm gonna leave.
Oh, I know. This is the biggest turnout by
So
far.
the DPW went and did their,
I think that I've ever.
because they had time to do it. They did on this line, the whole thing. They went and dug it out now. It's Nancy's gonna come.
She just messaged me and talked to me a little bit.
The camera, you coming out for
Not
a
a hundred.
Oh, she
That's
can't.
fine.
So it's done.
Daughter's home alone.
So.
like a movie.
Well, as I walked up.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna get home to.
So she, come here.
Well, relatively, this should go pretty quick. We're gonna waive the reading, right?
Yeah.
Give her what we're gonna do.
On everything, it's not much.
It's not much. And then
I
there's
understand what she's saying.
somewhat rid of the four.
Yeah.
COT.
So we increased on both sides.
You're gonna put the other barrier.
Yeah.
Build a boat around the other side, over the top of the plaza side.
High-end discussions over here.
Is that-
They're having high-end discussions. over
Oh. And the gal, I noticed.
Ready?
Yes.
I was just saying to Councilmember Fisher, this is by far the biggest turnout we've ever had for a Veteran of the Month. This is great. So before we even start, I want to say thank you for coming, everybody. We'll call the meeting to order. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll. Fisher.
You better wake them up.
Brownstone, here.
I had to unmute myself. Thank you for your patience.
Sure.
Fisher,
Here.
Rautenstrau,
Here.
Mylum,
Here.
Cook,
Please.
and Sheasley are excused.
Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor White for the presentation of the Veteran of the Month.
Thank you, Mr. President. I didn't say Mrs., I said Mr. Thank you. You know what? It's really refreshing because I know we got a big group because the pledge was really meaningful and was loud, so thank you. Today, we're going to honor Michael Reinhardt. Entered the U.S. Army in 1966 after graduating from high school and served for 20 years. Mike was a helicopter crew chief in Vietnam and re-enlisted in 1968. And he was a warrant officer at school to become a pilot and served another 16 years as an AH-1 Cobra pilot in Alaska. Mike also attended and completed the following: warrant officer school, rotary ring aviator course, AH-1 attack helicopter course, medium helicopter instructor, pilot course, and the aviation senior warrant officer training course. Michael's awards include the National Defense Medal, Sharpshooter Badge M14, Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, Vietnam Service Medal with 2 bronze overseas bars, Air Medal with 1 oak leaf cluster and 1 overseas bars, and Good Conduct Medal, Aircraft Crewman Badge, Army Commendation Medal, Armed Forces Reserve Medal, and the Army Service Ribbon. Mike continues to serve the city and the auxiliary police officer, and I want to thank Mike for his dedication to his country and also to his city. So Michael, come on up, please. Two certificates, one can be out in the hallway for a whole month, till the next month's Veteran of the Month is picked, and this one here goes with you, sir. So again, congratulations. This is always my honor to do this each second meeting of the month because we get to meet the people who fought for our country. And I always like to say welcome home, because a lot of us didn't receive that when we came home. So again, thank you for your service.
Everybody that's here with Mike coming up for the group photo, everybody, they're laughing, I'm serious, literally everyone. Come on up. Otherwise, I stay for the whole meeting.
Whoa!
We're gonna just make sure Mike is here in the center, and then everybody else pile in with him. Everyone's first step and everybody can pile in. We'll do that, let's do that. Why don't we have Mike and Mike, perfect, then everybody else pile into the back, and we're gonna squeeze Mike in the front.
Short people in the front, ugly ones in the back. We know who we are. Yep, put her on. Well, I'm comfortable being this close. If I separated from that. Yeah, well, that's personal, that's. I know. Not Billy, suck it in.
Get up there.
Oh, you said the front, yeah.
Get up there.
Paul, there's someone behind you, right?
Yeah.
You're the back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Paul, stand up.
Nothing to see here.
Everyone ready? We got applause for 2 phones. Okay, hold on 1 second. Thank you, everybody.
I was gonna say, thank you, Madam President. Oh, we used to call it, Pop, were you guys standing up?
We should have got a food truck over there.
I mean, I'm going to Aldi's.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah. Oh, we miss picking on him, don't worry.
Yeah,
I know you will. Yes, yes, yes.
he's down and out.
Yeah.
He went to the doctor for his vertigo. And they spun him around and made it worse.
Oh, no.
He said he was driving home, had to pull over because he was throwing up in his car. He said he only made it so far. He could only made it to his daughter's house. He goes, I'm on her couch. I can't move. He goes, and I can't drive.
Serious.
Yeah. Called it like 5 o'clock, so.
Tell me miss him. Tell me miss him.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
text him too. Oh. I always forget to give this out, to put the thing in. I always,
Oh, yeah.
Rudy goes, why didn't you give that out, Mayor? I make the label for you, you don't give it out.
That's ready to send, right?
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Wait for it to clear.
Now there's nobody left
I want to know where they all parked.
illegally.
We got $5 ahead.
Yeah, really.
Are you gonna waive all the readings?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, so again, I wanted to thank everybody for coming. That was absolutely by far the best turnout we've ever had for Veteran of the Month. So thank you for coming. Communications have all been ordered and filed. Are there any comments from the public prior to the resolutions? There will be time at the end for new business, but this is strictly speaking on the resolutions. Mr. Clerk, anybody online wishing to speak?
At this time, no, there is not.
Thank you very much.
We'd like to waive the readings of the resolutions, just refer them by number, please.
Thank you. We have a motion on the floor to waive the readings of the resolutions. Do I have a second?
I'd like to second that motion.
Thank you. We're a very light crew this evening. So, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Nay. That being said, resolution number 1 by Councilmember Fisher, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Sean. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Resolution number 2 by Councilmember Fisher. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Sean. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Resolution number 3 by Councilmember Fisher, seconded by Councilmember.
President, I'd like to second.
You got it. Seconded by Councilmember Rautenstrau. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Resolution number 4 by Councilmember Rautenstrau. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Fisher. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. We are going to table resolutions 5, 6, and 7 in lieu of Councilmember Rautenstrau speaking with the organization and their insurance and how they want to move forward.
Sure thing.
Okay, do I have a motion to table those resolutions?
I'll make that motion to table resolution.
Sean, do you second? Declare it adopted. Okay, so on to resolution number 8 by Councilmember Fisher. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Sean. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Resolution number 9 by Councilmember Rautenstrau. Second by Mr. Fisher. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Resolution number 10. Pardon me?
Just a particular point.
Yeah. We have a sponsored by Mr. Fisher. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Let's see, okay, number 11, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Pretty much read the same, it's just the changes, the different volunteer fire companies. They have all been sponsored by Mr. Fisher. And I'm going to guess that they're all going to be seconded by Mr. Rautenstrau.
Do have comments I'd like to put on?
Sure. Yeah. Okay, do you want it at the very end?
No, I'll do it now.
Okay, go ahead.
In relation to 11, 12, 13, and 14 with the volunteer fire companies. We had a very robust discussion about this number 3, about the annual accounting. At no point did anybody ever say they wanted to stop or block the funding to the volunteer fire departments. It did get twisted and spun on social media. We did have a great conversation last council meeting where we discussed what we were looking for in accounting. But again, I'd like to stress that the 30,000 divided by 4, 7,500 company was never in jeopardy of being taken away from the volunteer fire companies. That is misinformation that was put out there. So I was happy to sponsor it. I also made sure it made it to this week's agenda because we did have some absentees, as you can see, and they wanted to push it to the first one in May. I said, no, I'll sponsor it. I'll put it on. If you can see, it's pre-printed with me on there. I'm telling you wholeheartedly, that was never a thing. So I'm proud to sponsor it.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher.
If I can just make one more comment too.
Sure.
I just want to comment to that, this gets discussed every year when this comes up, and there is always a question of
maybe not cutting it, but just the amount it is, and especially when we're facing different financial situations in our city. I think that was a consideration, but the time to make those decisions is during the budget making, not during this after it's already been passed. So in fairness, obviously I'm forecasting these. And just the other point is when we talk about the accounting, just trying to find ways to make it more transparent, letting people know what we're paying for is what our main goal was. And I hope we can come to a better solution next year. And lastly, I just want to comment that I appreciate the chiefs of each of the volunteer departments reaching out to us and talking to members. It was very enlightening. It's great talking to you. And I think it gives us a better idea of what your needs are. So I appreciate that. And I hope we can continue that conversation as well.
Mayor had a comment as well.
Yeah, I want to thank the volunteer departments for the open houses you put on. It was, I went to both of them. It was nice. It was good to see the guys. But I also want to thank you for what you do. How many people know what you do for the city? Every time we have an emergency situation, tree fell down on the December storm, you guys were there. Instead of us putting a officer there in the middle of the street and wasting them, when they can be out doing other things to help the community. You guys are out there with your own time, your own cars. I asked you to help us out with the paint drive, the first paint drive we have, and the second one we had up at the high school, when we had the COVID test giveaways. You guys are all there. Every time we ask for it, you guys are there, no questions asked. And I just want to say thank you because it's noted and a job well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, resolution number 11 by Councilmember Fisher, seconded by Mr. Rautenstrau. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher. Rautenstrau.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Resolution number 12 by Councilmember Fisher, seconded by Mr. Rautenstrau. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rautenstrau.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Resolution 13 by Councilmember Fisher, seconded by Mr. Rautenstrau. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rautenstrau.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Excuse me. Resolution number 14 by Councilmember Fisher. I'm going to second that one. Change it up a little.
Why not?
Nothing against the other companies. We're just changing it up. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rautenstrau.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Resolution number 15 by the council, seconded by the council. Any comments or questions on this from anybody? We discussed this in the informal. Okay, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rautenstrau.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye. Declare the resolution adopted. Mr. Clerk, is there anybody online who wishes to make public comment after the resolutions?
Yes, I have one constituent that would like to make a comment.
Okay, please have them state their name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Carolyn Del Valle. My address is 325 Hines Street, Tonawanda, New York, 14150. Actually, I didn't want to talk about the resolutions. I just wanted to make comments. So will that be after this, or do I make those comments now?
No, this is your time to make those comments.
Okay, thank you. There are a few things I wanted to talk about. First, the Zoom ID is extremely difficult to find the day of the meetings. I'm not on Facebook, so I do not have access to Facebook to find it. So I had to ask someone else. So I'm wondering if it can please be displayed on the city website so that everyone has access to it. Also, I wanted to ask about if there would be something like a mayor summer youth program for kids. I know that Buffalo offers it. I'm wondering if we can start offering that. Also, I did speak to I cannot remember her name now, the Parks and Recreation woman about the health and wellness of the trees in the city of Tonawanda. And I'm actually looking for other residents to join with me and the Parks and Recreation to regenerate our city's soil and help to plant pollination patches for pollinators and just to beautify our city with wildflowers and so forth, so that we can help regenerate our environment because of the long history of the coke plant contaminating the environment. The only way we're going to be able to regenerate the environment is if we restore the soil. So restoring the soil with biologically complete compost and not using toxic substances in our city would truly help. I'm concerned because a lot of the landscaping companies use toxic chemicals that kill off our pollinators and our insects that are absolutely necessary for our lives. So I would hope that if anybody wants to help with that, please contact me. Thanks. I appreciate you all listening.
Thank you very much. Those are some great ideas, and thank you for the suggestion on posting the Zoom ID. That's a great idea. Mr. Clerk, is there anyone else online who is looking to speak?
No, there is not. I would just like to remind everyone that the meeting notice has the Zoom ID, and that's posted 72 hours before on the website, 72 hours before the meeting. So just so you know, Carolyn, and you can always contact the clerk's office if anyone's having any problems with anything Zoom related for the.
What website is that on?
It's on the city website. It's on the council page.
I've looked like numerous times and never found it on the council page.
I don't want to take up meeting
Okay, no
time, but
problem.
we can talk, Carolyn, and I'll help you through that. No more comments, Council President Pro Temp.
Thank you. Anybody else wishing to speak after the resolutions? Okay, Councilmember Fisher.
For the Chris Fisher Gives Back, this week it was the $50 went to Queen City Court in based on some residents from the second ward that asked me to donate to their cause. On Saturday, May 13th, I went to the volunteer fire open houses. Delaware Hose had a spraying station set up, chips, cookie, beverages for the children. It was all free. They even had the Erie County Sheriff's Office out there for the child ID cards. It was a great time. We did have a discussion specifically about these different resolutions. And I understand, you know, potato chips aren't cheap, but at the same time, buy potato chips. We want to see a receipt for it if it's used city money. That's what this whole thing was about. It was a great time. They informed me Delaware Hose has been around since 1890. And there was one member who even came over to me and explained to me that his grandfather, his father, him and his son were all members of Delaware Hose. So it was, you know, it's definitely a generational thing. Then I went over to 44 William and I met the other 3 fire companies. You know, we had a discussion about active firefighters. You know, so we have people in rehab, we have people in fire police, and we have people that can actually go roll hoses and go into a fire. So that's all considered part of that umbrella. And they are all there to augment the paid career fire department when they go to a fire scene. So my terminology and my jargon was a little bit different than what theirs were. So it was a great learning experience. We could all get together on the same page. And that's why I said I was proud to sponsor those 4 resolutions today. It was just we had to have a conversation about it. I'd like to put on record now, because we're going to go into this on May 7th based on a public hearing, that I am completely against overriding the tax cap. If we are in a hole, we need to stop digging. And with that being said, and if we can't borrow from the general fund and we can't raise taxes, we need to, you know, through attrition, we need to start looking at trying to save some money. There's all kinds of different ways to cut expenses, and we're going to have a very candid conversation about that. I find it to be a fear mongering tactic when people say they're going to cut services. You know, saying you're going to reduce some spending in the budget is not technically cutting services. Cutting services is layoffs. And then when you hear that word, you'll know your services are getting cut. But until then, attrition is not cutting services. Attrition is saving money. So I'd like to put that on record now, because next council meeting is going to be the public hearing on the first meeting of overriding the tax cap. And if the tax cap is overridden, there's no stopping taxes from rising 15, 20, 25, 30%. It's giving you permission to go over the cap, which the governor is going to set. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Mr. Armstrong?
Thank you, and thank you, Chris, again, for bringing that up. I just want to start by thanking Michael Reinhardt for being here. Thank you for your service. I do want to make a comment too. I did mention to Andy and the mayor, but the weekend before the eclipse, I was out with my boys out for a walk. Often go through Broad Street Park, and there have been complaints about it before, but I just want to say that early in the season, I remember walking through with it. I threw it with my boys and making a point of remarking on how good it looked. So I just want to say thanks for the great work. It's often people complain, but never people bring up the fact that things are going on like they're supposed to be. So I just want to say great work to our Parks Department. I do want to add on to what Mr. Fisher is talking about with tax, with going over the tax cap. I've seen a lot of messages, talked to a lot of residents, engaged a bit on social media. Our tax bills were here. We did a reassessment last year. There's a lot of misunderstanding and misinformation that's out there. We're working towards a better goal of trying to get there. The fact of the matter is there is a lot of increases, a lot of inflation that unfortunately have stemmed from the pandemic back in 2020. The cost of goods have gone up, the cost of gasoline goes up, the cost of salt and what we need to run our business, trucks and maintenance. There's a lot of factors in there. Going over the tax cap gives us an opportunity to have a tool of a safety net to fall back on. I'd 100% like to say, you know what, we're not going over the tax cap, but the fact of the matter is the costs have risen over the past 2 years. The budget levy, the amount of spending has gone up over the past 2 years. A lot of that are fixed costs. A lot of those are employment. And I agree, oftentimes this comes up and we start talking about, well, what do you want to trade off, your services or this? There's costs running the government. I will say over the last 2 years, the taxes have been under the tax cap. As a matter of fact, even longer than that, going back to the pandemic, the taxes have been raised at a much lower rate than the costs have increased. And it's an unfortunate thing. We see it in other municipalities. The first one we heard from Amherst with Supervisor Culpa and what's going on in his tax increase. Kenmore, another one that's seen some incredible increases or some higher than wanted increases. I think we can get to a point where we can find a way to get there, find the adjustment to make, and keep things at a plateau. Again, we've been band-aiding it, we've been patching it by taking a little from the reserves. It doesn't fix the problem of recurring revenue. When we meet the recurring revenue or recurring expenses, recurring revenue, we get to a point where things plateau and hopefully we can hold the line there. It's something I've been concerned about for the past several years, but I just want to make a point. Some of this is education, some of this is talking about what our money is used for. Our former treasurer, and I hope our new treasurer, he continues the policy of a yearly talk and going online to talk about what it takes to run our government, what it takes to run St. Paul, where the costs are going up, where the fixed costs are, and how much of a percentage of these taxes based on the value of our houses is what it is. We put things into a little bit of proportion like that, it makes it a little more understandable. The fact is, with the assessment, our values of our houses rose. Some of them more than others, but that didn't raise our taxes. That raised our piece, our share of the taxes. I think that's important to understand. It's important to educate our constituents on. Oftentimes and over the years, that reassessment has been a scare tactic by people telling us that we're going to raise our taxes. We want the valuation of our houses, our biggest assets to most of us. Say no, it is to mine. That's one biggest thing that I don't know, just pretty much managing the mortgage. On the class someday I hope to, and I hope it retains some value. I just want to say, just continue that. A little bit of it is education, a little bit is talking about it. Nobody's trying to stick it to anybody or get a gotcha. I think we really need to have serious discussions about what it costs to run the government, what it costs to provide the services that we have in the city, and have discussions about maybe where we can peel some things back a little bit and use a little more discretion until we can get to that point where we can bridge the gap. For new developments, new properties are on the tax rolls and they're offsetting those expenses. Thanks for listening to my rant, guys. That's all.
Mayor. Thank you, Mr. President. Sean, I agree with you. You know what, Chris, I do agree with you. But with the increases of payroll, cost of goods, cost of the dollar, borrowing is a huge thing. We haven't had much in people wanting to come into the city and build. Especially right after the pandemic, we come out after the COVID, there wasn't anybody really interested because the cost of the dollar was so high. We're a small city, 15,100. That's how many people live in this city, and approximately 2.5, 3 miles by 2.5, 3 miles. And show me all the land we have that we can build on. There's really not a lot. So we're looking at, we got a $10 million grant. So we're looking at building onto that and how we're going to grow and how we're going to help. It's basically economics 101. It's expenses versus bringing in revenue. And we haven't brought really much revenue. I want to thank Mike Gruel wherever he is, because Mike's been working on Spalding for me and actually have a great response now with their attorneys. Back the second time with them, so we can get these contracts signed, which should be signed very soon, which they will pay us money to get, again, revenue. Yes, do we have to cut? Yeah, when our old treasurer was here, we talked quite a bit about, Mayor, we're there. We can survive another 3 years taking money out of our general fund, but that's not what we want to do. It's the highest, one of the highest our general fund's been. We got an A rating with borrowing. Now, these are things that are good. But if we go the route we're going, we're gonna be like the school systems and laying 14 people off. That's what these school systems are doing. They're all looking at their budgets. It's not a game, no, it's not a game and never was a game. And this is why we were put into office. Okay, so we've got some good, serious decisions to make. And I believe that this council can do it moving forward and do what's best for the city. Best for the city residents. And thank you to the volunteer fire departments. I went to both of them also. It was great. The visit with them and see them. And again, I don't think you're fighting fires. I think you're more valuable to the city, helping us out and the need that we have with personnel, with road closures, Canal Fest, all the different things we have, the Carnegie Art Fest, all the different programs that we run in the city that I come out and make you go to, but you never say no. So thank you for that. And Michael Reinhardt, welcome home. And I thank you for your service. City of Tonawanda is doing an electronic recycle event on May 4th up at Tonawanda High School. So if you have any type of electronics, bring them up to the high school, get rid of them. That's what this is for. These are for your benefit. The county used to do these things. They don't do that no more. So we are doing them as a city. And I hooked up also with, that is with the Rotary. They have that done. And this next one we're doing in June 29th is behind the Salvation Army for shredding. And that is going to be another thing that we haven't had in a long time. You got things you want to have shredded, bring the boxes, have it professionally shredded. I've been in business for 30 years. I got a bunch of junk I need to get rid of, and I want to get rid of it smartly. I don't want to just throw it out so somebody can go through my garbage and find out what I did for 30 years. So I'm going to take it down there, and I'm sure the city has a lot of boxes that we want to get rid of also that's been in stores that we're putting on the computer. So take advantage of those things. So you got the 4th. If anybody wants one of the flyers for the 4th, that's for the e-waste. Grab one. I'll leave them up here after we're done. You're more than welcome to take one with you. But a couple of things have been happening in this city. I just want to give everybody 810 Young Street. That's Taco Bell. There's a lot of rumors that, oh my God, Taco Bell and another company like the chicken place is coming. No, we already have a Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's 22 square feet, 100 square feet, just Taco Bell. That's all it is. It's right in the front. Do we make money on it? It's already, we're getting paid taxes already by Benderson. When we make it, Eric, they're gonna get permits and permits and permits. So it's a snowballing effect. We slowly make money on permits and other things that they've got to get and adhere to according to the codes that we have in the city. So will there be income? Yes. Not as much as we wanted, but down the road there will be. That's number one. The next one is 363 Delaware. You see all those apartments going up? P&D Construction put 18 apartments in the back. Those apartments are going to be filled very soon. Now they're building garages. Somebody said, well, they're not garages. It's another 10. They're building on the side of Tap That Tap Room. Tap That Tap Room is his daughter, who is a female, one of the first female beer places, in the city of Buffalo. So she owns that, and the father is building in part, or in the back, and now it's gonna be 28 total apartments. So when he's done, there'll be 28 new apartments over there. It'll be nice, places to go. You've also got, Karuba, which all, everybody goes, what's going on over there? They're just waiting for the DEC to tell them. What they found was, they found oil. That's what they found. So do they go 2 feet, 4 feet? We don't know. They're waiting for the description from the DEC. In fact, Joe Karuba, I told him, you gotta get it going because I'm gonna send Eric over there and fine you for every month that you don't take that building down. It's an attractive nuisance. A kid walks in that building, it's a liability concern to them. And I'm warning them that something's gonna happen because there's no roof in there. And then there's a guy going in there, every month with a key. So I need to rectify that. And if it was a homeowner, we would have had Eric there the first month. So I apologize, but I'm working with him and he's coming in 2 weeks to meet with me. And we're gonna talk about getting that building down even before he gets to DEC. So that is still in the horizon. It's going to be built. But we're waiting for the DEC permits so everybody knows. The DRI is up and moving. We've had one Thursday meeting. We meet every Thursday for an hour. And then that's just the core. Then we put together a planning committee of about 15 people, all different people throughout the city, business, men, women. And what we do is we're gonna have 6 meetings with them. And that's the planning committee of, hey, what do we want to do? So you are gonna be welcome to come and see what it's about. No input, but come on down to Pelosi Pavilion, 6 o'clock on the 30th of this month. And you can come and see what the DRI is about. We will have an open meeting with us talking about direction and what we can do. And another question I get, I'm trying to answer some questions that come into my office. And another one, can I take advantage of it? If you're in the downtown footprint, you can take advantage of the DRI, Downtown Revitalization Initiative. And that's put on by the state. Yes, you can. But it's an application process, an open application process, and I'm not there yet. Once we get to that point, then we'll open up to the people and the businesses that are within that footprint. We need to, as a group, and I got the council support, they're wholly behind it. We need to get that downtown where we're a destination. We're not a destination. We're on 3 beautiful waterways. We're a drive-through. We're a drive-through to Niagara County. We're a drive-through to Niagara Falls. And that's what sold us on this DRI, because we want to make it a destination. So by doing that, now we got to put our money where our mouth is. We got to spend this money wisely to encourage businesses to come in. For instance, I'll give you one, for instance, is like the old American Legion. They put almost $450,000 into the, I believe, Eric, into the sprinkler system. She put a lot of sprinkler systems. She's trying to make way for what she wants to do. I went to her a long time ago and I said, look at, what are you making money on? She goes, well, we do disc throwing. I said, you can't pay rent. I like throwing Frisbees too, but you're not going to make a living and people aren't going to rent, and make, pay your rent. So we talked to her and she's willing to do an event center. We don't have a downtown. We don't have an event center in the city that can hold more than 200 people. If we want to do a big event, we go to the Wurlitzer. We want to do a big event, we go to the Knights of Columbus on Erie Avenue. We have nothing in the city. So by doing a 400-person event center upstairs and 7 luxury apartments on top, it opens it up to people who say, I'm going to do a wedding down below and then we're going to stay overnight on top within our downtown footprint. That's my vision. I envision the city as making the city of Tonawanda downtown a destination. And how we do it is with our DRI. And that's why I'm excited about it. And so we've got to put our money, their money, and spend it wisely. And the state is involved in every process. So there's going to be many open to the public views of our meetings. One is going to be Pelosi Pavilion on the 30th. And we're also going to be doing it with the library. We're going to do it with the senior center. We're going to go out there and try to see as many people we can. We want your input too. We're going to give you an idea of what we're doing. Listen, and then when you do have input at meetings, please let us know. Because the more support we get from you, the less I'll get beat up on Facebook. So I'm like kidding. I'm serious. I want good input. I want solid input. And the best way to get it is open meeting. So I apologize. I took a little longer than normal, but that's what's going on. And I'm excited about it because for the first time, I'm seeing revenue being generated. That doesn't include 77 Young Street, who now Eric is just finishing up. So he's building 4 apartments there. Consumer Beverage is building a mixed use on the bottom with apartments on top. All these people come into the city. Where are they going to have breakfast? Where are they going to have lunch? Where are they going to eat dinner? So that's going to encourage restaurants to come in. And I'm hoping it forces Benderson to get off their butt and do something with McDonald's. So Benderson's is McDonald's, and the old Rite Aid, just so you understand, we had nothing, no knowledge of that, and neither did Remy. REMHY. It's called Remy. They own that property. They own Rite Aid. they were told the same time we found out that they were moving. They found out that they got a luxury, beautiful building they're paying mega taxes on, big building, and they've got a small one that just does 4 times as much business in the Delaware Plaza. So any business person is gonna dump the one with the high expenses and less income. That's what they did. So my prescriptions are going from right there over to Delaware. And there's nothing we can do about it, but now it leaves us another void. So now we got a void, huge void there and another void over there. And that's where I've got so many ideas coming to me. Many of them are like a small hotel wants to come in. I don't know who's gonna take it. Either Benderson's gonna be interested or Remy, one of the two. But these are the things that are coming to me. They want to be downtown where it's, the excitement is, where you're right across the street from it. I mean, we help each other. We should be working off each other from North Tonawanda. Riviera Theater, all these people come into the Riviera Theater year round. Where are they gonna stay? They have nowhere in North Tonawanda to stay. Right there on the canal. I think it's a hell of a good sell. I really do. And I just think that moving forward, the vision that we have of the city is pretty darn good moving forward. We gotta get over this little hump and I think we'll be okay as we move forward. But we gotta make smart cuts. We gotta do what's best for the city, thinking that what we've got moving that is gonna be good for us. So I apologize it took so long, Dave. We want to get out of here early, but that's what's going on downtown. That's what's happening over on Young Street with Taco Bell. And that's what happened with Remy is they just moved because it's basically economics to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. It was really good to hear all that, and I'm sure everybody appreciated it. I have nothing other than to say thank you to Michael Reinhardt. I think it's one of the best things that we do here. We get to find out who and what, and to see some folks that have served for 20 years it's incredible. So I'd like to thank him again. With that said, make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Mr. Fisher, thank you very much. Adjourn. See you next time.
Sorry.
No one.
I had to tell them what was going on. Oh,
No, at times. Fun to say for.
I'm gonna put it on my.
Got it.
Tomorrow. So if you want-